TechID Manager has an agent that can be configured to do a myriad of different things. It can make what we call PAM accounts, which is a unique account for each technician. Create that account, set rights on it, manage it, rotate passwords on the account. It can do that. It can also do what we call a lapse agent, which is where it takes one account, takes over that account, rotates the password on it, and shares that password and that account with several different technicians. There are two types there. Each of those types can also be a managed account, which is always available, or a just-in-time account, which is enabled only for the time frames in which technicians need it. There's some layers there. How is all of this configured? All this is configured inside the agent called the domain service. In our documentation for the domain service, which is ruffiansoftware.com, setup-of-techidmanager-4-domain service, you find it in the doobly-doos below. There's a long description of the domain service and all the command line options for it. There are lots of them, does lots of different stuff. At the very bottom, there's this section that talks about instances. An instance of TechID Manager is a configuration segment that defines what it does and how it does it. If we look at the management console, we will see when we look at agents, the agents are listed here. If you'll notice, on a machine called 2016 DC, we have two different types of agents. We have a domain agent, a PAM agent, and we have a lapse agent. One is just in time, one is managed. Both of these instances of the agent are run on the same machine at the same time, but they're doing different things because they have different configuration segments. One instance is the PAM agent, which does unique accounts for each technician. One instance is this account called the MSP admin that TechID Manager was told to take over and rotate the password on. Let's connect to that machine, 2016 DC, and see how that works. See how that what that configuration looks like. And let's use that MSP admin shared account to log in. So now that we're logged in, let's open a command prompt and see how these instances are configured. Change directory to where the domain service installed. And if we do DomainService.exe space show, we will see that these are the configuration options that this instance of TechID Manager is installed with. And there are two instances. One is the default for the domain service. This is the default PAM agent, does what it does. It has a version. This is the username, company, first, last, initial, which we can see in the tech client here, matches first company, first name, last initial. There's also this shared user instance. The instance name is MSP admin. It is taking over the user called MSP admin, because we can see the username here is MSP admin. And that is what it does. That's why this account shows up here and is taken over. That's why in the management console there are two agents listed. There are two instances of this executable, this service running on that server. There's other configuration information there, and if you want to change any of that, you can change any of that. You can also see that one of these, the default PAM instance, is set as just in time. The other is not just in time. So all of these options down here, shared username option, the instance name, to set the options in an instance, you need to know whether the instance is a shared instance or a PAM instance, a shared username or a lapsed instance, and a standard instance. To set an option on a shared instance, you do DomainService.exe, shared user, the name of the shared user, and the option that you want to set. Say we want to make these just in time. So we would say just in time. So that whole command line looks like this. DomainService.exe space shared user space MSP admin. We're telling it what shared instance we want to set this option on, and everything after that on the command line is the instance that we want to set for that option. So we're setting this to be a just-in-time account now. Hit enter. Now, if we do show again, we will see that that instance for MSP admin, the shared user MSP admin, is now just-in-time instance. That means it's only enabled when we tell it to be enabled. We actually want it to be managed. So we will say, yep. Notice we have now changed it back. It is no longer just in time. Those are how the instances work. The directions and instructions on that are at the bottom of the command line instance stuff. You can set any of the parameters that apply to any of the instances by using the appropriate command line. So if you want to set the friendly name for an instance, you do DomainService.exe space shared name, the name of the user, space friendly name, space whatever you want the friendly name to be. These are also all seen in the install scripts for the laps, install scripts for the PAM agent. You can make multiple PAM instances if you want. Similar to the shared username instances or the laps instances, you put DomainService.exe space instance name space name of the instance and the options that you want to set after it. This is a more edge case for usage, but that is how the instances work. This allows several things. It allows multiple MSPs to both have Tech ID Manager agents installed on the same DC or client machines, each having their own accounts being managed separately. It allows you to do co-managed, where the co-managed accounts can be different than the technician accounts for an MSP. It allows a lot of different configurability, multiple accounts per person, some just-in-time accounts for some people, managed accounts for other technicians. It allows a lot of configurability in that. If you have any questions, email support@techidmanager.com or set up some support time by going to our support page and booking a call. All right? Thanks. Have a great day.